Hello YouTubers, I hope you all are doing well. I'm your friend Asif Ali and I'm back again with another video. As this is our Python series, in this series we already covered our first topic on introduction of Python, and now we are going to talk about the history of Python. Let's start the video. The topics that we are going to cover are the history, who developed this Python language, when, where and why. And then we will talk about the ancestors of the Python language. Then we will talk the reason behind the name of Python, from where basically this name originated. And then at the end we will discuss about different versions of the Python till now. So the idea of the Python was started in early 1980s, but the practical work and real implementation of the Python was started in 1989. After 2 years, the first version of Python was published in 1991, 27 February 1991. After 3 years and after a lot of modifications in the first version, the final professional version of the Python was published in 1994. Now let's talk about who developed this Python language. Guido van Rossum, who was born in 31st January 1956 in Netherlands, he developed Python while working in the National Research Institute of Netherlands. Actually, he completed his master's degrees in mathematics and computer science in 1982 from University of Amsterdam, Netherlands. After completion of his degree, he joined one of the famous research institute in Netherlands, namely NWO, Netherlands Organization for Scientific Research. The Centrum Wiskunde en Informatica is a research center in the field of mathematics and computer science. Actually, it is the part of the NWO where Guido van Rossum was working, and Guido van Rossum developed Python as a research project in this institute. Now let's talk about the ancestors of the Python. The first language that comes in our mind is Set-L language. The Set-L language is a high-level programming language based on mathematical theories of set. Now there are a lot of students confused about the high-level programming language and low-level programming language. Let me clear this point. High-level programming languages are all those programming languages which do not depend on machine. Now what is meant by this statement? Simply, all those languages are only understandable by human or programmer. When we run the high-level programming language, this language is converted into the another form which is a machine understandable. That language is understood by our machine or computer, which we will call low-level programming language, or in other words, zeros and ones, right? Because the machine can understand only zeros and one, that's why we call that language a low-level programming language, which is understandable by machine, while the high-level programming language are only understandable by humans. These are developed for the ease of the human beings, for the ease of the programmers, so that we can easily code in high-level programming language. After that, we can convert this high-level programming language into the another form which can be understood by the machine, right? I think the confusion is clear now. Now Set-L appeared in 1969 and it was developed at the New York University. After that, ABC language came into the field, influenced by the Set-L was developed at CWI, Centrum Wiskunde en Informatica. The reason behind the ABC language is to replace the Basic and Pascal. Basic and Pascal are also the programming language at the time, and ABC is actually developed in order to replace these programming languages, because there are some drawbacks in the programming language, and ABC is developed with the addition of those features and then replace these languages. Now come towards the ABC connection. The ABC is an interpreted language, as there are two different types of languages, as we already discussed, the languages which are run by the compiler and the languages which are run by the interpreter. We have two different softwares. One is a compiler and another is a interpreter. ABC is a interpreted language, means that ABC need interpreter in order to run the ABC language. As we already discussed, ABC is specifically designed to replace the programming languages like Pascal and BASIC. And then ABC has a major influence on the design of the Python and programming language. Now this is the main point. While Guido van Rossum was working on the ABC language, he found a lot of the features in ABC very useful, and at the same time he found drawbacks as well in the ABC. And Guido previously worked for several years on ABC system in early 1980s. Due to the experience of this work, well know about the development of the programming language and development of the interpreter. At the end, he decided to develop a new language with the features which are not in the ABC, right? There are the drawbacks in the ABC, and he wants to remove those drawbacks, and he wants to add some new features in ABC. The main drawback in the ABC is it is not an extensible. You cannot add the new features in ABC. Due to this reason, the new programming language came into the field, which is called Python. Now let's talk about the Python forum. Python is an open source project. Now what is meant by the open source project is there is a huge community of the Python who contributed in the field of the Python in order to make new libraries for new fields, due to which the library of the Python is a very rich and increasing. In 1994, the primary discussion forum for Python was formed, where different programmers can discuss the issues related to the Python, suggest the solutions. Now let's talk about the reason behind the name of the Python, where it come from. Most people think that the Python name is originated from snake, but the story is totally different. When the Guido van Rossum was working for development of the Python, at the time there was a comedy show which was very famous, namely Monty Python's Flying Circus, and Guido van Rossum was a big fan of this comedy show. That's why he randomly picked the name Python for Python language. There is no any rocket science behind this name, so don't worry about that. Initially, Guido van Rossum also worked on one of the distributed operating system called Amoeba, and while working with this operating system, he faced a lot of the problems like the finding of the errors. He was unable to find the errors because it became very difficult in the Amoeba to find the errors. As well as I said earlier, that there are drawbacks in the ABC as well. ABCs are not extensible. We cannot add new features in ABC. That's why ultimately the reason behind the development of Python was to add new features and they remove drawback from ABC and remove the issues the Guido van Rossum faced while working with the Amoeba. Now this is the flow diagram where you can easily understand the concept what we discussed till now. At the top we have a settled language, which is the first language Guido was thinking about to create a Python, and then we have ABC language with a lot of the features. Python is inspired a lot of features and syntax from ABC, as well as Python also get features from C, C++, and other programming language called Modula. There is one of a good functionality that Python took from Modula is a exceptional handling. This is the main module that the Python picked from Modula programming language, while the syntax and some features also get from the ABC and C++. Now let's talk about different versions. As I said, the first version, the first professional version was published in 1994, and then we have 2.0 published in 2000 and a lot more. Now we have the Python 3. The first version of the Python 3 was published in 2008, and with the passage of time we have a lot of different versions. You can see currently we are using 3.8.3, which is the latest version when I'm recording this video. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you enjoy, then do like, subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos. For next video, stay tuned and goodbye.
If you enjoyed the video, do like and share. And for more videos, subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for notifications. Stay tuned and goodbye.